How's it going, everybody? Ben from basesetmew here, and welcome back to the channel. In this video, as promised, I'm opening my Mega Brave booster box. After having previously opened the Mega Symphonia booster box, go check out that video if you're interested. We're opening up this one next. This one, though, I do have to say, even though there are some cool cards in here, I actually think the Symphonia booster box, or the Symphonia set, is actually the better out of these two. Because, well, most notably, the cards, the SARs you could potentially pull from Mega Symphonia, are so much cooler in my opinion. I mean, there is the Lucario, the poster child of this set in particular. That looks really, really cool. The Absol is cool. I know the Venusaur also has a lot of fans, but not for me personally. But we'll see what we end up pulling. Hopefully we do get lucky to pull an SAR. Speaking of SARs though, hopefully we aren't unlucky, so to speak. If I can get this open. There we go. Like, imagine the Lieutenant Surge. I do have to address the elephant in the room, being the Lieutenant Surge. That if you will get lucky enough to pull an SAR and then you end up pulling the Lieutenant Surge, which, by the way, is, I've seen prices for 250 yen, which is, I think, about $2, right around there. Okay, zoomed in a bit more so we can appreciate the artwork of the cards just real up close. So the Lieutenant Surge, actually really, really cheap, because I guess a lot of people really, really hate that artwork. I'm personally also not a huge fan of it. I mean, and that's kind of the downfall of this set. Like imagine you get lucky enough to pull an SAR and then you pull the Lieutenant Surge. That would be super, super bad in my opinion. Now, in terms of art rares though, I do want to talk about those as well. For my chases, my number one chase, ooh, very nice. Here we have the Mega Lucario EX. Very, very cool. As I said it in the last opening, I do love how these double rares look. They look super cool in my opinion. Man, we'll have Lucario watching over our opening for this one, of course. So in terms of art rares, my number one chase is the Riolu, followed by the Vulpix, and I guess the Steelix. Those three, like the Riolu number one chase. Like if I pull that one in this opening, I will be very, very happy. Love that card. But then again, oh, here we have the Bulbasaur. I was gonna mention this one. So the Bulbasaur evolution line actually does feature a connected artwork. Maybe we can pull the Venusaur and the, the Ivysaur, so I can actually show it off. But here we are with the Bulbasaur. Very, very nice. I think this artwork is gonna have a lot of fans just because of that connecting artwork, which is super, super nice. Right, let's put this one in here. This time, I've prepared sleeves before, and something that I don't usually do, because I never end up pulling something great whenever I prepare sleeves beforehand. I mean, last time I didn't prepare sleeves and I didn't pull anything too great, so maybe this one we will counteract the curse, so to speak. Nah, that's bogus, right? But I do have to admit, though, my luck hasn't been that great recently. Usually I was always pretty lucky with my openings, but like lately it feels like the luck has left me. Lady Luck is not smiling upon me for these past few weeks, but maybe this opening will change that. We will see. That's a nice looking Tinkaton right there. Let's see what we can pull in this pack right here. I have a good feeling about this one. That's how it works, right? And that is how it works. Watch. Oh, it's a Dialga holographic though, really cool though, but just a holographic nonetheless. Man, I said it in my Symphonia opening, I'm pretty sure. These sets are super cool, like they are great. If you can get these for MSRP or close to MSRP, you should 100% buy yourself 1 or 2 boxes. Like, just imagine the cards you could potentially pull in here. There is one, the Lily. Funnily enough, not the most expensive card in this set. I would have thought for sure that the Lily would be the most expensive one, but no. It is actually the MUR Lucario, which, by the way, looks insane in person. So does the God of War MUR, by the way. Maybe we can pull it so I can show it off. Oh, the Vulpix. That's one of the artwares I've mentioned. Very, very cool. Look at this one. So 2 art rares already out very early on. I feel like the last one, the last booster box, the Symphonia, took a little bit longer for these artwares to show up. Let me sleeve up this Vulpix right here. That looks nice. This does remind me of the Flareon V that we got as a promo. Really, really cool. I really like this one. Hopefully, though, we can still pull the Riolu. And then any SAR other than the Lieutenant Surge would be really nice. It's been kind of a long time since I've last pulled an SAR. So I would love to pull one, obviously. But let's see. Let's just take our time with this opening, because this time around I'm not as rushed as during my Mega Symphonia opening, because I really want to get that video out as soon as possible. But for this one, I'm gonna take my time. I also misspoke a couple of times during my Symphonia opening. I did mention the Pikachus from Collect 151, and I did actually say that Okecheke illustrated them, which is wrong. Hang on, we have the Mega Absol EX right here, very nice. And the Spiritomb. Spiritomb also has an art rare in this set. I don't know what I think of it. I mean, I think Spiritomb is kind of a cool Pokemon. Back in Gen 4, it had no weaknesses whatsoever, because it was Ghost and Dark at the same time, right? It had no weaknesses whatsoever. And also the way to get it was kind of convoluted and difficult back in the day. So that's why I think it's kind of cool. But the artware, that's kind of whatever in my opinion. Lieutenant Surge, please, please do not be... I'd even take the normal super rare Lieutenant Surge over the SAR, I gotta be honest. It's also such a shame. They could have done so many different things with the Lieutenant Surge. Like, just do something similar that they've done to, like in Dream League, where it's like Lieutenant Surge and Magnemite, like he's polishing up the Magnemite. That one looked really, really cool. They could have done something similar to that. Like, put him in there with Raichu or something. Or like Electabuzz or whatever. Like, just don't do something that boring. Although I do gotta say, I mean, no disrespect to the artists, because I do still know that they work their hardest for these illustrations, and it takes a lot of time to master. It takes a lot of time to master. Oh, right. One thing I wanted to mention as well. Full art item cards, as I've said in my Symphonia opening. I actually don't know which ones are in here. I mainly focused on the Symphonia set for like doing some research. As you know, I do like to go into these sets a little bit blind. But I don't actually know the full art items in this one. So that's gotta be a surprise. Also, we gotta look out for these full art items, and if they are promised one per box in Japanese booster boxes, that would be kind of interesting to know. Because that would be great for players over in Japan, right? Not necessarily for us, because once again, you can't use them in an official setting over here. But then for players, which this is intended, you know, usually it is only intended to or for sale in Japan. Usually not supposed to open them, but, you know, all that matter. But then once they come to English, they will be great in my opinion, because I assume they will be much more common than the gold items, right? And that way you can bling out your deck without being too expensive. I do know that some item cards go for a pretty penny. But let's see, Riolu. Hopefully we can summon the art rare right here. Nope, that's just an Executor right there. I haven't pulled anything in these last few packs. We're still missing 2 double rares, 1 art rare, and then hopefully our MUR, of course, because with this box it is nah, it's not. It would be really insane if it was, if we could pull the MUR, because I really want to see it in person, and I also want to show it off. But, you know, with my luck recently, that might not happen. But we shall see if we do get lucky with this one. I hope we do. Of course. Let's see, I have a good feeling about this pack right here. Let's see. Oh, it is a double rare, the Mega Camerupt EX. Okay, that's our 3rd double rare. Very nice. There we go. That is a pull. That is a pull. And I do love these. So there we go, watching over our opening as well. 1 more art rare, 1 more double rare, 1 more super rare, or better. So let's see, I also want to point this one out. Look at this illustration, man. Wow, Shinji Kanda killing it again. Man, that looks super cool. Let's see. Nope, that's a Steelix by Anisaki Dynamics, though. Really cool looking illustration, of course. I do gotta make I have this video in mind where I just show off 10 of my favorite cards from each artist, like, you know, or maybe like 5 cards, 5 of my favorite cards from each artist. Don't know, but I have that video in mind. Oh, the Mawile EX, or the Mega Mawile EX, I should say. Yo, that looks also pretty cool. I'm kind of disappointed that Mawile didn't get an SAR. I kind of do like Mawile. I think it's a pretty cool Pokemon, especially the Mega evolution of Mawile. So I'm kind of sad that it didn't get an SAR, or even an art rare at that point. That would have also been pretty cool, right? But you can't have everything in a set, of course. You can't have everything. Oh, here's our full art item card right here. Very, very nice. Okay, and there is the Lily again. Let me sleeve this one up as well, of course. And that means we have one more art rare left. And then one more, hopefully one super rare. I really do hope that the full item cards don't replace them. Last time around, we did pull a full item card and then additionally an SR, so I don't think they do. Let's see. Nope, not in here. That's just a Yungoos and a Crawdont at the end there by Cavallo. Thought I recognized the art style. Only have a couple of packs left here, so it really does get down to the wire, eh? Ah, in suspense. Many packs later, we might pull our SAR or SR right here. Nope, that's just the Tinkaton. It really is waiting for the last pack. Same with the art rare, eh? Same with the last art rare. Okay, since we only have a handful of packs left, I am going to do the card trick to keep up the suspense even more. Even more. Let's see, is it going to be after this one? Oh, it's the Spirit Tomb. Okay, so that is our last art rare right here. It's not the Riolu that I was after, but I think it's still an okay illustration. Not a huge fan of that one, but I can appreciate the Spirit Tomb getting some really deserved love, because I think, as I said, Spirit Tomb is actually kind of a cool Pokemon. Well, cool Pokemon, and the lore behind it doesn't really make sense. The lore behind Spirit Tomb is actually kind of terrifying, so maybe just leave it as a cool Pokemon, and not because of the lore reasons, of course. Kind of giving me like Demon Slayer vibes almost. Alright, 3 packs left. Actually, yeah, 3 packs left, and this is our 4th one, so let's see what we can pull in here. One of these is gonna have our SR. What is it gonna be? What is it gonna be? Well, that was the last card. Apparently, I can't count. So, alright, I was going to mention that I accidentally said that Okecheke illustrated the Pikachu cards in Collect 151 and then the Evolutions in Gem Pack, but no, there was actually different artists. It was Oswaldo Kato in Collect 151, and it was Shokunosuke in Gem Pack 2. Someone actually pointed that out. Did I do the card trick? I don't think I did the card trick. Oh, it's the Lucario full art. Well, we did get the poster child. We did get the poster child of this set. Okay, I'm not mad about that at all, because I really like how these look. Also, the Manectric I pulled in the last opening, that one looks also really cool. Look at that. Especially that, like, shatter foil effect. Do you see that on the border? That looks super cool. I love how these full arts look. And the colors as well look so good. Alright, getting sleeved up and put right over the top of the double rare Lucario. Right, 2 packs left. You know, I have pulled 2 super rares in a set before, so that is something that could happen. Let's see if we are lucky. Not in this one, though. We have a Celebi. Wanted to point this one out as well, but couldn't earlier. By Naoki Saito. Really cool looking Celebi. Look at this. Great stuff. Alright, one last pack. Slap it for good luck, the backhand. The backhand for good luck. Let's see, let's do the card trick as well. And let's see what we can pull in this one right here. Ivysaur. And, nope, that's just a holographic. That's a Cinderace, though. Pretty cool looking illustration by Rend. But just a Cinderace. Well, that was it for the Mega Brave opening. Once again, I did not pull an SAR, but I did at least pull one of my chases with the Vulpix as the art rare, so I'm still kind of happy about this one. And then, of course, I mean, even though it's quote-unquote just a full art, these full arts look so freaking cool, man. They look super, super cool. Well, but I guess it does it for this opening. If you enjoyed this video, then please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, then give it a thumbs down. Tell me in the comments below what you didn't like, so I can try to fix that for future videos. Other than that, right here's a video you think is best suited for you. Right here's the subscribe button. Click this one first, then click this video. Check out any of the other videos in the description below, and I hope we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Peace, peace. Take care.